well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone arena action. There's really no choice here with this arena. Just played as Warlock. Shaman, man. Shaman's like a bad ex-girlfriend. You used to be in love and you don't even know where it all went. I don't like playing as Shaman anymore. So Rogue it's gonna be. Okay, starting off with junk trash, playable, and then really high quality rare. So we'll take the high quality one right there. This is unplayable, this is unplayable, this is fantastic. We'll just take that. 2 rares in a row, looking good. Fuck you, Owl. I'm gonna take these guys, which I didn't used to take. I think an old Boris would have taken the Owl here, but now I know better that the Owl is kind of overrated, while these Swarm guys are surprisingly good. Okay, I can take more Swarm guys, or Shiv is a decent spell. I don't know if I want to pick Shiv that aggressively. Like it's a playable card, you know, but it's not like a backstab or an eviscerate. The Abusive Sergeant is definitely an option here if I want to go aggro, but we'll take another Tidehunter here. Let's not get too committed. Well, with this Swarm stuff, the Dark Iron Dwarf looks very good, and the Farseer, it's playable, but it's no Dwarf, so we'll take the Dwarf here. Don't like this Monkey. Betrayal is decent, but I think actually on the abstract, Fan of Knives is a better card. You can draw a card if you need to, and it's just a little bit more reliable. Betrayal, I find too often, is finicky and unplayable. Okay, with these 2 Swarm cards, the Raid Leader starts to look sort of decent, but I don't actually have any removal here besides Perdition's Blade and Fan of Knives. You can kind of count the Argent Commander, so we'll take Shiv for some more card draw and removal. Assassinate's nifty, but gotta take Backstab here. Backstab is just too good not to take. And Deadly Poison's like a Fiery War Axe. Sap and Frost Elemental, both high-quality cards, but this early in the draft, you gotta take the Deadly Poison. It's just really amazing. Okay, the Stampeding Kodo is definitely a solid card, but I'm gonna take the Blade. It's a weapon, it deals damage, it's really good. Okay, well, this is a decent 3-drop for sure, but here we'll take the Kodo. I do like that card a lot. Okay, these 2 are pretty bad, so we'll just take the Silvermoon Guardian and keep it simple. It's a high-quality 4-drop. This is a good 4-drop. I'm going to take the... Well, boy. I'm going to take either the Knight or the Tiger here. This is like the 3rd Shiv of the draft. I don't think Shiv is good enough to take over either of these creatures. This guy's pretty decent. He survives Flame Strikes. He's sort of like removal. I actually have a decent amount of removal, though. Backstab, Poison, double Shivs, double Blades. Then a Knife's thrown in here. So yeah, I don't need this quasi-removal. Let's take a really high-quality 5-drop. It's really good against mages. Okay, I can take Fan of Knives, but I'm actually going to grab the Leper Gnome, get a little bit of aggro in my deck, rather than a second copy of that Fan of Knives spell. And the Sap is, boy, I mean, it's playable. It's definitely a card I like to have. I'm going to take it. Let's make sure we get one of these in the deck. The Gnomish Inventor is alright. Okay, here I'll take the Voodoo Doctor or the Kobold Geomancer. The Geomancer is very good with Fan of Knives, but unfortunately I passed on the second one. It is also good with Shiv and with Backstab as well. Or I could take the Voodoo Doctor. Some healing is nice, of course, for rogues, because you're going to be daggering things in the face. We'll take the Kobold Geomancer, and we'll hold out for a better 1-drop, hoping either for an Argent Squire or a Worgen Infiltrator, rather than that Voodoo Doctor. Okay, this is bad. I don't want another one of these. I think we've had enough of those. So here we'll take a Taunter. We're a bit short on that as far as this deck goes. And here we'll take a Gnomish Inventor over these other 2 mediocre 5-drops. Alright, Sprint can of course be very good, but I'm not going to pass on a chance for Defias Ringleader, so this is getting a little bit aggro-y. I would like now some other high-quality aggro cards, and actually any of these can be considered, so... At the 3-mana level, notice how I don't actually have any creatures, so that's what makes the Injured Blade Master tempting. The Young Priestess is decent enough on turn 1, especially if you can play her and another 1-drop, like the Leper Gnome, making it survive mage's stuff. This is a good finisher for aggro decks. I'm going to take the Blade Master, though. We're 2/3 of the way done, and without any 3-mana creatures, I think we're going to run into problems, so I'm going to grab the Injured Blade Master right there. Alright, Nightblade I don't really consider a playable card. Shiv is alright, again, but we'll take the War Golem. We could use some more endgame, and the War Golem is not my favorite card, but it is okay. Boy, Raid Leader, I guess it's still good with these Swarm cards. I don't know. I could just take another Gnomish Inventor for some more card draw. It's a little bit unimpressive if you play too many of those things. Or we could just take the Sprint, you know, hope to empty our hand out and have some card draw at the end. I guess these are both mediocre enough that I'll take the Sprint here for the endgame. Okay, Vanish is a card I will always hate, so we'll just take another copy of the Tiger. Okay, Conceal I like a lot more if I have a Gadsden Auctioneer, but I think even without them, it's still a really good card. And I am lacking for 3-drops. I think rather than a second Deadly Gnome, or second Leper Gnome, or another Taunt, let's go ahead and grab this guy. I'm beginning to appreciate him more and more. The life gain is really, really good, and it can also work nicely with the Blade Master. Alright, 2 mediocre cards and Backstab. That is easiest pick ever. And Spiteful Smith, I think, is a really important card for rogues. It's extremely good stats, and it's also got a very, very good ability for rogues in particular. Okay, do I take a third Perdition's Blade? Is that getting greedy, or do I take a Ravenholt Assassin, even though it's mediocre, just to have as a finisher? Well, my deck is getting a little bit heavy here. Got 5 5-drops, a 6-drop, and 2 7-drops. It's a total of 8 cards, so almost a third of our deck is 5 and above. It's a bit risky. How many 2-drops do I really have here if you count past the spells? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually enough. We'll take another Perdition's Blade. And I think I have enough removal, so I don't need the Wolf Rider. We'll take the Bloodsail Raider here. I mean, it does work nicely with these Perdition's Blades. Okay, we got a legendary here to wrap it all up. This is actually a lot of really good legendaries. They're all very solid. Gruul just gets out of control if your opponent can't kill him immediately. Sylvanas is just... Well, Sylvanas is probably the best in the abstract, but I have a lot of 5-drops, so for curve reasons I wouldn't really want her. The Van Cleef could be nice. I mean, I have a lot of cheap stuff, and I have Conceal to go with them. Now, the only awkward thing is Conceal has to be played after you play him, so you lose on +2/+2, but you can, like, play him really huge and then protect him, perhaps? Gruul, here's what I'll say. Gruul might be, like, the best pick objectively under these circumstances, but I'm going to take Edwin because, I don't know, there's a part of me that always likes to play with the class-specific legendary if I can, and since I don't own Edwin, I've never actually played with him before, so I think it'd be nice to get that legendary in and get some experience playing with that card just to see how it feels. So this draft, we got 2 backstabs, which is great. I think I have played rogue drafts before where I had no backstabs. Didn't see any eviscerates, which is a little bit tricky because some of those mid-range creatures you're really counting on eviscerate as a rogue to be able to bring them down. I only saw 1 assassinate. It was in the same pick as a backstab, and I will stand by that pick for the rest of my life. You would have to do some kind of amazing chicanery to convince me that Assassinate is worth picking over a Backstab, but that was the only time I saw it, so I don't see any Assassinates. So we might run into trouble against really big creatures. Sap is pretty much the only game in town. Keeping the Dark Iron Dwarf here is a little bit speculative. I mean, I'm basically gambling that one of these things is going to survive. Granted, if it does, the Dark Iron Dwarf does drop on turn 3, which is kind of nifty. Okay, we'll keep this. We've got our Deadly Poison in case we need to use removal. Say if my opponent plays a Northshire Cleric and it needs to die. Otherwise, the plan is going to be not to coin out this, but just to play it on turn 2 normally. And then on turn 3, you can coin out the Dark Iron Dwarf, put a 4/4 on turn 3, and then also buff one of these guys. Up against a Priest, so he cannot trivially kill these off, and he's got a slow start, which is fine by me. So I did say that, of course, one risk of this deck is, you know, big creatures. We can't really deal with them all that easily. However, at the same time, you know, we have some big creatures of our own. There's that War Golem in here. Sprint isn't a creature, but Sprint is an endgame, you know, quality card that can bail me out of tough situations. Okay, so I could, of course, Dagger up and Deadly Poison, but even better, I am fairly certain, is to coin out Dark Iron Dwarf. This seems really amazing. So we have won the opening. My opponent didn't have a play on turn 1 or turn 2, which is kind of a blessed relief given how some of my other games have been going lately. And yeah, we're definitely ahead now. Got a card ahead, and we also, you know, just have a really nice board presence. Okay. I don't think it's probably too early to play Van Cleef. I could make him as a... Well, I could actually do it. I could do a backstab into this. Oh, no, then it's not quite good enough. If only these guys had 5 health. Okay. So I could shiv this guy. I could backstab this thing, shiv it, and then the Murloc Tidehunter could finish it off. Alternate plan is to make a Dagger and Deadly Poison. That with backstab will kill this as well. I'd like to keep this guy around. I don't want to throw him away. I think this guy on the board is better than a backstab in the hand. Although the backstab would be good for comboing into Edwin Van Cleef later. Okay, so maybe I will throw away the Murloc Tidehunter. Okay, so what we'll do then is we will Dagger up. Let's get some Deadly Poison going. Swing. Swing. And get 4 damage on there. This is really good card against Priests, of course. Can't really deal with it except for with Holy Fire. It's too big for a Holy Smite, and it's got the 4 power to avoid Shadow Words. I really hope he plays a Gurubashi Berserker or something. That would just make my life. I haven't used a Stampeding Kodo to kill a Gurubashi Berserker in a long time. It's definitely happened to me more often than I've done it to other people. Fen Creeper's pretty decent here. I can kill it and leave my Dark Iron Dwarf alive. Actually, yeah, this is not that great, honestly, here, because I can kill it without losing anything and without having to spend any mana. So, is this the time, though, to combo out the Edwin? I could actually backstab Shiv and play Edwin. He's going to be a 6/6. Problem is, I don't have any mana left over after that to play Conceal to hide him. So it's just a 6/6 for 3. Just a 6/6 for 3. It could be Shadow Word Deathed. That would be half of my opponent's mana, though. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and backstab here. We will then Shiv, draw a card. Sap, actually, you know, if I'd had Sap, I totally would have played it.
The Brotherhood here we go.
So we're a few turns away from Mind Control, but Shadow Word Death can kill this guy right now. Of course, that would be half of his mana for the turn. Probably the best thing he could have is not Shadow Word, but maybe like a Silence. No, he's got Shadow Word Death. Okay, well, he's only got 3 mana to deal with this 4/4, which isn't great. Well, he might play Cadalso die to a Stampeding Kodo. No, it doesn't. Balls. Well, that's actually really perfect. That's just what the doctor ordered. So, neither of my things die to Shadow Word. I hope he's choking on all the Shadow Word pains that he's got. Still a turn away from Mind Control. I really now hope he plays something really big that I can, like, sap. This'll do. This'll do, pig. This'll do. He keeps playing 3 toughness creatures. Stampeding Kodo. Well, okay. If Stampeding Kodo destroyed a random enemy minion with 3 or less attack, it'd be, you know, whipping balls broken. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. I could Fan of Knives that I just drew and trade one of my creatures, or like kill this with the Dark Iron Dwarf. Dark Iron Dwarf would hang on by a thread, or I could just sap it. I think I'm just going to sap it, honestly. That seems like a really good play. So I wish I had a mana left over to play Conceal, so that he couldn't use Shadow Word Death on this thing, but honestly, we've just been beating him down. And it all started with that Swarm creature, the Murloc Tidehunter. Man, it was so good. It gave a good outlet for the Dark Iron Dwarf. Don't dismiss Swarm creatures. I am very grateful to the friendly poster who told me about that. And don't dismiss single card synergies either. Okay. Still can't use the Kodo. Can I kill him? Well, if I play Fan of Knives, draw a card, I could then, this guy would go down to 5 health, my Booty Bay would kill him, and then I'd have 8 damage, 9 damage with the dagger. Well, we'll go for it. Putting Priest opponent down to 1 health is pretty solid. Backstab, okay. Backstab after Fan of Knives, not the greatest. That is a fact. So we'll do this, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, swing, play the Murlocs, and I'm gonna actually play Conceal now. So he's in a bit of a pickle. He like needs something very good here to deal with the fact that all these creatures are threatening to kill him. If he plays a Taunter, I've got Backstab, I've got Wicked Knife, and I've got several other creatures.
Well played.
I'm pretty sure I could have even gotten through a Sunwalker. So that was a pretty strong start to the arena. The deck performed as well, and definitely a contributing factor to my success there is that I did not dismiss Swarm creatures, and that I did not dismiss 2-card synergies during the draft. So it was a good start. I think the good drafting decisions I made, as well as, you know, my extremely high caliber of play, helped contribute to the win in that case. Well, that was a fun start. Edwin, I would say, did his job. He was a 3-mana creature that baited a 3-mana removal spell, and it was, you know, it helped me in the tempo with that matchup. EKZO, Exo, the mage, definitely going to put me through my paces here. Mages are always a tough matchup. And you know what? I'm just going to send all this stuff back. I'd like to get my Defias Ringleader. I'd like to get some of my other 2-drops. Shiv and Fan of Knives I don't really want to mess with. Well, this is not the greatest start, although it's still better to be the second player here than the first, that's for sure. So I can play this guy on turn 2 and this guy on turn 3. We got the Wombo combo here. Any chance for a Defias Ringleader? Not a chance. Alright, well, my opponent at least didn't play anything on turn 1, which is something I'm beginning to appreciate more and more. There once was a time when for your opponent to play anything on turn 1 was like a novel thing. Now it just happens so regularly. Wow, that's 2 opponents in a row who did not play anything on turn 1 or turn 2, which is definitely nice. Wish this guy had come just a card sooner. My opponent could have used her hero ability on him instead, but he at least would have dealt 2 damage already. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's good that he didn't come out. It's hard to say. She's going to ping my creature, which is correct. I'm going to keep up the pressure, though. I could, of course, Deadly Poison, try to work through these mirror images, but I'd much rather just put this guy down. So I gotta chill Wind Yeti. I mean, this is essentially, it was as if I played like a 4/6 on turn 2. Is essentially what happens after I heal this guy. It's kind of awesome. It's turn 3 and I already have the equivalent of a Chill Wind Yeti on the field. This mirror image, my opponent did gain some life with that. It's gonna give her like a kind of 7 health buffer. Because I just, you know, attacked one of them instead of dealing 4 damage, and I'll probably kill the other instead of dealing 3 damage. So it was like a 1 mana heal 7. Decent, but not great. Water Elemental, very irritating card. I think that card is overpowered. Luckily, you know what else is overpowered? Papa Boris. Ho! Is there anything better I can do? Let's just do a quick check. I can play Leper Gnome to get the combo on this. 2 damage. Swing at it for... Well, swing at the mirror image, maybe. Use this guy to finish it off. No, that doesn't feel right to me. I think this intuitively just makes more sense. Flame Strike is still a few turns away. It's not for this turn, the next turn, or the turn after. It's not for this turn or the next turn. It's not until the turn after that. So this is a lot of damage right here. I could do a lot before these things all die to Flame Strike. Plus, I've already gotten value. I've killed a mirror image and I've killed a water elemental without losing anything. So I've got 2 cards of value already. If she plays Flame Strike on turn 7, I really couldn't care less. This guy's kind of terrible right now. I'd much rather have Ascension because it'll die to Flame Strike. This also obviously dies to Flame Strike. I honestly wouldn't mind spending the next couple of turns removing her stuff, like maybe Perdition's Blade, Deadly Poison. Nope, she's gonna freeze. That is saving her 13 damage. It's pretty good, and it also lets her ping at this right now and kill it off the following turn, so that sucks. God damn it, I hate freezing spells. Somebody at Blizzard screwed up. Oh my god, I'm gonna totally do this. I am totally gonna do this. Yes, I'm gonna do a Leper Gnome. I am going to... we'll save this. I'm gonna go ahead and make a dagger. We'll swing. And I'm gonna play Conceal. So suck on that, Mage. So now she can't ping this off, because it's all stealthy. She could still play Blizzard, which would be annoying, but it would be her whole turn, and it would only kill off 2 creatures, one of which is more than paid for itself. I guess that would actually allow her to ping this off the following turn. Yeah, Blizzard would still be really great here. God, there's just no way to play around a Mage. There's no way to play around a Mage. That's another one of Papa Boris's proverbs. There's no way to play around a Mage. That's the lesson of the day. But anyway, here I am doing what I always do, just hoping Mages doesn't have the right cards. Looks like she does, and I imagine Blizzard would have been a Windmill Slam. Secret. Okay. That could definitely be annoying. There's no question about it, because if it's a mirror entity, she's getting something really good. And she's going to ping me in the face. Oh, that was a very weak turn for her, and I'm happy to see it. So, let's go ahead and take a look at what I get. This is perfect. So, always check for mirror entity before you check for Vaporize. So let's do this. I was really hoping it was mirror entity. Well, now we'll check for Vaporize, Ice Armor. It's Vaporize. Okay, I'm pretty happy to see that, obviously. That doesn't really do anything for her at all. Okay, we're going to swing for a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And you know what? Let's just do this, and let's just shoot her in the face. She's not going to play creatures. Do I put the Deadly Poison out? Yeah, I'm going to put the Deadly Poison out. Here's why. If she plays an Ooze and kills this Deadly Poison weapon, which I never swung with, I am going to be freaking delighted. Because if she plays an Ooze, that means she's not playing Flame Strike. And Flame Strike currently, of course, kills everything. So she can play a Flame Strike, but I've got 8 damage in the bag right here, so she's down to essentially 3 health. Doesn't take much more to tip her over. I would just need to draw like my Argent Commander, and I could finish her off. She's got the Flame Strike. It's okay, though. Could still win. She now needs an answer for the War Golem, so she needs a... Fireball or a Polymorph to deal with this, or else she loses. Well, Taunt might also work, of course. Yeah, I'm a little bit lacking for direct damage because I never saw any Eviscerates. That's a bit of a problem, potentially. I never took Sinister Strike or Nightblade because I think those are bad cards. But yeah, if she has a Polymorph or a Fireball here, I could be in trouble. That is not going to save her. It's gonna buy her an extra turn. Oh no, she has a Frostbolt. Okay. Oh my god. Freaking freezing spells. God, I need a sap here real bad. Come on, sap. Backstab. Well, backstab's still pretty good. We'll backstab this, of course. I am not gonna hit this with my weapon. There's really no point to that. We'll just do this guy. I'm gonna hold this in my hand in case of flame strikes or whatever. We'll pass the turn. Okay. So we're back on track here. All I need to do is hit this with my War Golem, kill it, attack with the weapon, attack with my booty base. She needs to save herself again. Already played a Frost Nova, Flame Strike, Frostbolt. I guess I'm lucky it wasn't a Fireball or a Polymorph, to be fair. But that means she doesn't have those in these 3 cards, so unless this top-decked card was a Fireball or a Polymorph, she can't really deal with my stuff too easily. Now, a Frostbolt would let her kill this creature off, of course. It plus the hero ability would kill it. Okay, I guess I'm glad she didn't play that earlier, but oh my god! Okay, so props on me for not playing this Kobold Geomancer. Fucking mages. Seriously, these freezing spells, just too good. Too good, I say. So she can now ping the War Golem because mages are goddamn overpowered. So behind a taunt. Oh, interesting. She's going after the taunter. What reason could she have? Oh, she wants to kill it right now. Smooth move, I guess. Man, you know what would be funny is if I had a silence, I could actually kill this thing, silence this, and beat her in the face. Alright, we're gonna get a card which is really important. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. I can smack her here and then run this guy in and deal 4 damage, but it's a bit risky. She can, like, ping him, Flame Strike, kill everything off, and I'm sort of nowhere. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna just kill this thing off. We'll make a dagger. Also make a Kobold Geomancer. So, let's see what she's got here. I think she would have played Flame Strike last turn if she'd had it, because it would have killed everything rather than just freezing it. So, now let's see if she has an answer to this. Mirror Image. Okay, it's not really going to do it. I can still kill both of them and then swing with my mighty War Golem. Props to me for drafting this hunk-a-lunk. Little bits of knowledge make such a big difference in Hearthstone. Like, don't always dismiss War Golem just because it's a bad card. You might still want to draft it because you need an endgame. Like, that little bit of knowledge meant that I put it in my deck, and me having it in my deck is making all the difference. If this had been some, like, generic, you know, whatever, 3-mana, 4-mana thing that I passed over to take it, or a Shiv or something, then I could be in trouble.
We have many secrets.
Okay. Does she have a free secret, then?
Well played.
She appears not to. Alright.
Hey, give me a minute.
Thank goodness. I'll give her a well played. Had a little bit of leeway there with the Argent Commander and the backstab with spell damage. Could have killed off her creature. Could have gotten her down to 3. Still threatening death, even if she had flame struck my board. Then, of course, she wouldn't have had these creatures out here. So, yeah, I had some leeway, even if she had had the flame strike or the blizzard, but it's a good game to win. I'm happy to have knocked that one out. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed the beginning of this arena run. If you'd like to see how it ends, then stay tuned. The rest of the games are going to be coming up shortly. And as always, please like and or subscribe to the channel if you'd like to give me some support. I'll see you soon.